He was born with dragon's blood, but he never wanted to become a dragon, until the day he watched his father die at the hands of humans. In that moment, his anger transformed into a terrifying power. He leapt off a cliff without thinking, and in the very next second he was soaring through the sky as a massive dragon. At the same time, all the dragon secrets that had been buried for years flooded into his mind. The truth was that all dragons are male. Because there are no female dragons, they are forced to kidnap human girls in order to reproduce. When the girls become pregnant, the dragons burn them alive. As soon as their bodies turn to ashes, a dragon child is born from the flames. The horrifying power of dragons had gripped humans in fear. They had only one option left: to sacrifice young girls. This cruel practice continued for centuries, until one warrior finally broke the cycle. He could not bear to see his beloved taken away forever. He swore that even if it cost him his life, he would save her. He turned his love into unbreakable strength, set out on his journey, and eventually reached the dragon's cave. He killed the dragon and became a legendary dragon slayer. The boy did not want history to repeat itself, so he hid within the cracks of the cliffs. Every time he transformed into a dragon, the narrow spaces trapped him and prevented him from coming out. For years, no dragon was seen. Humans slowly began to forget about dragons, and the ritual of offering sacrifices gradually transformed into a wedding ceremony. The princess would lie in a boat wearing her most beautiful clothes. A rope was tied to one end of the boat, while her fiancé stood on the other shore. The descendant of the dragon slayer would pull the rope. Drunk with happiness, he asked everyone to sing the dragon song to celebrate his wedding. He believed that dragons had long been wiped out. He had no idea that a dragon's pride does not tolerate mockery. At that very moment, the oil lamp placed beside the princess suddenly went out. The sky turned black and fierce winds began to blow. Against his will, he transformed into a dragon. He abducts the king's granddaughter, Miroslava. Everyone watches in horror, unable to believe what is happening. No one, not even Igor, has the power to stop it. Igor stands there helpless, because he possesses no special ability that could challenge a dragon. The massive dragon flies away, carrying Miroslava high above the skies, and leaves her on a lonely, desolate island. The place is shrouded in profound darkness. The island itself seems cursed, its landscape formed from the gigantic skeleton of an ancient dragon. Enormous ribs rise like twisted trees, and massive bones lie scattered everywhere. There is no clear path of escape. No one can flee from such a place. Miroslava is terrified and heartbroken. In the midst of her fear, she notices a boy on the island. Gathering her courage, she approaches him and asks, "Who are you? What is your name?" The boy remains silent. He does not answer her. In fact, he does not even know his own name. He looks confused, distant, as though he has been there since childhood, abandoned and forgotten. Miroslava feels pity for him. Since he has no name, she decides to give him one. She calls him Armin. They begin to speak to each other, slowly breaking the silence of the island. But suddenly, a horrifying dragon appears before them. The ground trembles beneath its weight. Miroslava freezes in fear and tightly shuts her eyes. When she finally gathers the courage to open them again, Armin is nowhere to be seen. Instead, strange, mysterious little creatures surround her. They look unnatural and eerie, watching her with curious, unsettling expressions. Miroslava feels disturbed and overwhelmed. Tears fill her eyes as she assumes that the dragon must have taken Armin away. In her frustration and despair, she begins throwing stones around her. One of the stones strikes a massive skeletal bone, causing it to collapse. As it falls, it accidentally clears a hidden path leading to the opposite side of the island. Seeing this, Miroslava immediately starts moving toward that path, hoping it might lead to freedom. But before she can go far, the dragon appears again, blocking her way. It attempts to attack her. Miroslava quickly moves aside, barely saving herself. Below the rocky ground, there is a vast stretch of water crashing against the island's edge. At that moment, Armin appears. He is accompanied by one of the same mysterious creatures she saw earlier. The creature seems ready to attack Miroslava, but Armin commands it to stop. Instantly, the creature obeys him without hesitation. Miroslava's heart fills with suspicion and fear. How can he control these creatures? Is Armin himself a dragon? Suddenly, Miroslava stumbles and begins to fall from the rocky edge. In that very instant, Armin transforms into a dragon. With powerful wings, he rushes forward and catches her before she can plunge into the water below. However, he cannot fully control his transformation. Losing balance and strength, both of them fall into the water together. Miroslava struggles to her feet and begins screaming for help. Armin, now back in human form, lies unconscious. In her panic, she lifts a rock and starts hitting him, thinking he might attack her again. But then realization dawns upon her. He fell while saving her. He protected her. He might not be a cruel dragon after all. Seeing him unconscious in the water, she pulls him out with great effort. In that moment, it becomes clear. They have both saved each other's lives. As she brings him back to the island, Armin begins transforming into a dragon again, but he quickly loses consciousness and reverts to human form. He has exhausted all his energy. The next morning, Miroslava decides she cannot stay there any longer. I will escape, she tells herself, but that very day, a violent storm erupts. Thunder roars, lightning tears across the sky, and the sea becomes wild and unforgiving. Escape becomes impossible. Night falls. Miroslava carefully treats Armin's wounds using herbs she finds on the island. She cleans his injuries and bandages him gently. That night, she dreams of Igor coming to rescue her. In her dream, Igor holds her tightly and she feels safe again. She truly longs to return home. But when she wakes up, it is not Igor beside her. It is Armin. He softly tells her, "Calm down. You are safe with me." Days pass. Slowly, trust begins to grow between them. Their fear fades into understanding. They become true friends. They play together, swim in the clear waters, and run freely across the island. Laughter replaces silence. Yet one day, Armin grows troubled. He thinks to himself, she trusts me. But what if the beast inside me awakens someday and harms her? So he decides to tell Miroslava the truth. My father was a dragon, he confesses. He wanted me to live as a dragon, but I wished to live as a human. I wanted to live peacefully among people. I refused to become what he was. One day while he was playing, he witnessed something horrifying. A human warrior arrived and killed his father before his very eyes. That warrior was none other than Igor's grandfather, the legendary dragon slayer. And from the ashes of those burned girls, new infants were born. I was one of them. That is why I am neither fully human nor fully dragon. I am both. I am half human and half dragon. He looks at Miroslava with deep intensity. I have always tried to control myself. I am not like those dragons who burn humans without mercy. I forced myself not to transform. I fought against my own blood. I tried to live as a human being. He pauses, then speaks more softly. But Miroslava, on the day of your wedding, your people were singing that same ancient ritual song. It was the song I heard in my childhood. The song that echoed when the girls were brought to the dragons. The sound of it pulled me toward your land. I felt drawn to it as if something inside me awakened, and I still do not know why I seized you. Miroslava steps closer to him. All right, she says gently. Do not be troubled. I will help you control the beast within you. Armin looks at her searchingly and asks, do you truly believe that someone will come to rescue you from this island? Yes, she replies confidently. I am waiting for my fiancé. We love each other deeply. Remember this, he will surely come for me. At her words, Armin's face darkens. A faint frown appears. There is jealousy in his eyes, something he does not wish to admit. Somewhere along the way, he has begun to care for Miroslava far more than he intended. Time passes. Miroslava no longer tries to escape immediately. What? Because she has started to see goodness in Armin. She sees the struggle within him. She sees that he is not a monster by choice. They laugh together. They talk endlessly. They become companions. Yet one day, while sitting alone, Miroslava thinks to herself, I must escape somehow. I will pretend that I am beginning to like Armin. When the right opportunity comes, I will flee. That way he will not suspect that I still wish to leave. He will lower his guard. But things do not go according to her plan. Days turn into weeks, and something genuine begins to grow between them. Their affection becomes real, and still Igor does not come. One night, Miroslava has a terrible nightmare. In her dream, Armin transforms into a monstrous dragon and tries to kill her with fire. She screams in terror, and wakes up suddenly. Armin is standing beside her, gently shaking her awake. He had only been trying to calm her, but Miroslava feels fear again. She hides it from him. She does not confess that she is frightened. Deep inside, she still questions whether she can remain with him forever. Again, she thinks, if I find a moment when his attention is elsewhere, I will escape. One day, while she silently plans this, Armin approaches her happily. He carries flowers in his hands. I have decided, he tells her sincerely, I will become a gentleman. I will not transform again. I will master my dragon forever. He smiles, unaware of her thoughts. But when he realizes that Miroslava still wishes to return home and does not fully trust him, his heart shatters. The flowers fall from his hands. Do whatever you wish, he says painfully. If you want to leave, then go. I will not force you to stay. With that, he storms into the cave in anger and grief. Whenever he feels deep sorrow or rage, his dragon side begins to surface. Yet even in that state, he does not want to harm her. Miroslava feels ashamed. Forgive me, she whispers. I did not trust you. She realizes her mistake. Armin had struggled to control his beast for her sake, and she had deceived him. If she truly wished to leave, she should have spoken honestly. Instead, she wounded his heart. Now Armin distances himself from her. It is too late, he says coldly. I struggled for so long to control this beast, but your doubt has weakened me. Now my dragon is no longer fully under my control. I have lost everything. Broken and helpless, Miroslava leaves the island in a small boat. Her heart feels unbearably heavy. Meanwhile, on the sea, Igor and his brother have been searching for Miroslava for years. The island had been enchanted, hidden from ordinary sight, which is why they could never find her before. But now the truth about Igor is revealed. He never truly loved Miroslava. He only desired to marry the king's granddaughter for power and status. He is cowardly by nature. "Brother," Igor whispers nervously, "I am afraid. Perhaps we should return." His words reveal that he cares little whether Miroslava lives or dies. His brother looks at him in disgust. "What a coward you are. If you do not even care for your fiancée, why are we risking our lives?" Just as they are about to leave, they see Miroslava in the distance. Immediately, Igor changes his tone. "I searched for you for so long," he exclaims dramatically. "Where were you? I missed you terribly." Then he adds, "Come with me. I will take revenge on the dragon who abducted you." But Miroslava does not want Armin harmed. "That dragon no longer lives there," she lies. "He is gone. Let us return to the palace." They all go back. Soon, preparations for Miroslava and Igor's wedding begin again. The kingdom rejoices at her return. The wedding rituals commence. Miroslava is seated upon a ceremonial boat while people shower flowers upon her. Music fills the air, yet tears stream down her face. Her heart is not in this marriage. She misses Armin. On the island, Armin is consumed by grief. In despair, he leaps into the sea. In his hand, he holds a small musical instrument, the very one connected to the ritual song. Even as he struggles in the water, he protects it carefully. He thinks only of Miroslava. At the palace, Miroslava can no longer bear it. "Stop this," she cries suddenly. "This is wrong. I do not love Igor. I love the dragon. I cannot live without him." The entire gathering is stunned. Igor is more shocked than anyone. Miroslava begins to sing the ancient ritual song, the same song that once drew Armin to her. At first, nothing happens. Fear grips her heart. She thinks perhaps Armin has ended his life. Then the sky begins to change. Dark clouds gather. The wind rises. A great black dragon appears in the sky. It is Armin. He descends and takes Miroslava away before anyone can react. Miroslava feels overwhelming joy. Igor is too frightened to step forward. Only when the dragon is already flying away does he pretend to charge forward heroically. His brother strikes him and says sharply, "Stop pretending. Let her go. You never deserved her." The dragon carries Miroslava back to the island. But Armin's control is slipping. His dragon instincts overwhelm him. He prepares to breathe fire upon her, as dragons once did to the girls brought as sacrifices. Flames gather in his throat, but Miroslava stands firm. "I love you," she says boldly. Even in this form, Armin freezes in shock. Even now, with his terrifying appearance, she does not run. "Whether you burn me or keep me with you forever, I will not leave. I truly love you." The dragon's fierce eyes soften. Slowly, he lowers himself and places his great head in her lap. It is the first time anyone has ever spoken to him with love while he was in his dragon form. In time, peace returns. Armin learns complete control over himself. Miroslava chooses to remain with him by her own will. They are eventually married. They live happily together on the island that once felt like a prison. Years later, they are seen telling this very story to their young daughter. The once mysterious tiny creature now lovingly cares for the child. The island is no longer a place of darkness. It has become their home, and they remain together there, content and fulfilled, choosing each other every single day.